if you're trying to DIY your nonprofit marketing materials, you're probably falling into the trap of being boring. There are 3 traps that tend to catch people up. First, lacking a hook or concept. If it doesn't have that thing that just grabs people's attention, they're going to scroll right on by. Second, they don't address a pain point. You have to really think about your audience as the hero of the story and get into what is causing them friction. You want to get right to the pain. And then third, it sounds like a bot. It probably has a lot of emojis in it and big words that tend to be just ChatGPT. So today I want to show you how you can get more out of ChatGPT. You can really use it as a tool to write in a more engaging way just by giving better instructions in your prompts. So let's look at this prompt writing cheat sheet. So this is how you give ChatGPT creative direction that will persuade, convert, and cut through the noise. So number 1, you need to write a smart strategic prompt. And so here's the 5-part formula that I like to use. So first, start with the outcome. What are you asking AI to do? So for example, write 3 Instagram captions promoting our year-end donor match. Then you need to clarify the AI's role. So here, you are a nonprofit copywriter with a bold, clear, and neighborly tone. Then you need to put in the inputs. So you give key details that are going to make for better results. So here I like to put in the audience. So it might be busy working parents in rural Kansas. The goal is to get them to RSVP for a free family STEM night. Key message, free dinner, fun learning, meet your kid's teacher, and then tone of voice, warm, encouraging, and clear. So those are 4 great categories to write instruction about. Then you need to set format constraints. So if you want it to be 100 words or 250 words or 40 words, this is where you put that. So each caption under 40 words, include CTA or call to action to RSVP. And then 5, ask for options or variations. Give me 3 versions, 1 curious, 1 emotional, 1 urgent. Sometimes when I'm brainstorming, I ask, especially on headlines, I'll ask it for 25 headlines or 10 headlines, or give me 3 versions that are of different tones of voice. Sometimes I'll use actors or other famous people as my guides for that. So then once you get that, you can refine it by asking it to use some psychological or persuasion frameworks. And there are a couple that I really like. So first, you want to frame it with the problem first. So you don't want to say, join our webinar, and then have all the detail. Start with the problem. So tired of donors ignoring your biggest needs? And then there is a book by Chris Voss called Never Split the Difference. And this is actually about negotiation. And he is talking about his experience as a hostage negotiator with the FBI. And I got to thinking, this really is like dealing with somebody who has taken hostages when you're trying to convince people to do something. So one of his principles is about tactical empathy, as he calls it. So you want to make them feel seen. So you can ask it to use Chris Voss's principles and say, it might come up with something like, you're not crazy for thinking fundraising feels random, or it feels like your board just doesn't get it. There's another author who I really like who has written some books on persuasion. And so his name is Robert Cialdini, and these are his 6 persuasion triggers. So scarcity, authority, social proof, liking, reciprocity, and commitment. And so I like to ask ChatGPT to apply these principles as well to up the persuasiveness of my copy. And then the last thing is to add curiosity and pattern interrupts. So this is where you get what they call listicles. So 3 myths killing your campaign, or why most nonprofits are wrong about donor retention. So it piques people's curiosity by serving it up as a mystery or giving people several reasons why and using an odd number. So just to wrap it up, you can add these on in your prompt. So you can use, say, after you give it all that instruction up front, you add on one more thing, which is start with a hook that uses frustration or fear, a Voss-style empathy line, a Cialdini principle, or a curiosity builder or pattern interrupt, and then move to the core message and call to action. So on our next page here, we have a form where you can fill in the blank. So as we just went through, number 1, what do you want it to produce? And you can fill in the blank. Here's an example. The role of the AI, the audience, the goal, the key messages, the tone of voice, the constraints, the variations, and then hook strategy. And you can choose one or more here. A lot of times I actually like to just choose one at a time and then keep adding in and see where it ends up, and then look back through the options and see which one seems to be the most relevant. Sometimes I like to put an example hook in there just so that the AI knows where I'm headed. So if you'd like this cheat sheet, check the description on this video and there's a link so that you can have it.